Sasaki and Peeps episode 1. And to be honest, this is one of those animes that I wasn't sure if I was going to review or not. I wasn't sure what to expect when watching the anime. And to be honest, I didn't even know that it was, 40-50 minutes long? I thought when watching the episode that it was going to be 24 minutes long. In fact, when it got to the 23 minute mark, I was wondering why it wasn't over yet. And then I look at the, at the timer, at the time stamp of the episode, and I see that it is actually double the length that I thought it was. So you can see by just that I actually didn't know anything about this anime, aside from the little description that the anime had. So coming from that to coming out of the episode with a very high view on the episode and on the anime, it tells you a lot about how this episode felt to me. It was very good, but also, the fact that I'm looking forward to watching the second episode, third, fourth, fifth episode, however it lasts, that tells you a lot about the dynamics of the first episode. That it was an episode that was interesting, but also captivated the audience, in this case me. So yeah, this is definitely one of those animes that I think I will definitely review. If it gets even better than that, then I will be surprised because it's already really good. So I have a lot of expectations for this anime. Like I said, I wasn't sure what this anime was going to be about really exactly. I read the description. I knew that it was about a magical pet, if you can call it like that. I knew that some things were going to happen. I knew that an Isekai'd was going to be involved, but man, was I taken by surprise when, it was all of those things, but at the same time not. Because one of the differentiating things from this anime compared to other Isekai animes is that, at least as of now, the anime is not solely focused on the Isekai world. In fact, it is actually all the opposite. In this episode, we see how it is the fact that they're dealing now in the real world. They're having most of their times in the real world dealing with problems, dealing with potential dangerous scenarios. And the Isekai world as of now is more of a place to take vacations, to maybe do some business, to relax, to eat. So yeah, that is actually interesting. I don't think that will last forever, of course. I think the Isekai world will become more important in the future. This is the first episode only after all. So yeah, but at least in this very first episode, that took me by surprise, because you would expect an Isekai anime like this to be solely focused on the Isekai world, but that is not the case. And to be honest, I don't think in the future it's going to disappear or anything like that, the main world. Because as we saw in this episode, they're actually psychics compared to the Isekai world, where I think magic is the word that is most appropriate to use. In our real world, they're actually psychics, but these psychics only have one power, and that one power, as long as they train it, they can get better and better with it. But compared to, Sasaki, our main protagonist, they don't actually have many different abilities. For example, Sasaki can use basically all elemental powers. He can also teleport, and probably can use some other unknown yet, powerful spells or magic. We saw in this episode a couple of people get introduced aside from Sasaki, of course. We saw Hoshizaki, which is basically that workaholic girl or woman that Sasaki is currently working with, her superior. And we saw how she was acting throughout this episode. She's actually really wild, I guess that is the word to describe her. We also saw this girl that was always hanging out, in the door of her apartment. I think there's something going on there. Of course, it was not explained in this episode, but it was sort of hinted that maybe she's having problems or something like that. But yeah, I think in the next episode, or maybe in that third episode, she will be really important, because when you see the picture of the anime, I don't know how you can call it, the cover of the anime, she's actually the one that is besides our main protagonist Sasaki. So I think she will be really, really important, maybe even more important than Hoshizaki. She was also appearing in this episode. She interacted a little bit with Sasaki. And also we saw Sasaki's main boss, main superior, because, Hoshizaki is also her superior, but not to the extent that the other guy was, the real boss, the real superior. And I don't remember his name. I don't know if he was mentioned, but yeah, I don't know if he was going to be an antagonist, a rival, a villain. It would seem to be that he's not actually a good person, as seen from the last seconds of the anime, that he's planning to use Sasaki. But to be honest, I don't know exactly what is going on with him. Maybe he's actually a really good person, but it's a little bit twisted, or maybe not. Maybe like the anime hinted, maybe he's actually bad or planning to do something bad, who knows. But yeah, now Sasaki works in this paranormal bureau. He was working before in your normal Japanese company, but he had to quit abruptly. Not that necessarily he quit it, but he was forced to quit because he was hired in this new paranormal bureau. So yeah, that was actually pretty funny because he wasn't sure that he wanted to quit or not his old job, but was in a way forced to do it. So yeah, now Sasaki will have to go to missions with Hoshizaki, and who knows what kind of dangerous missions they're going to be, when heading out there. Maybe there could be potentially life-threatening villains. I would assume they are, because otherwise the anime would be really stale. And I almost forgot to mention the other main protagonist of the story of the anime, and that is Peeps the bird. I don't know if the bird will actually retain her or his real form. I don't know if it was hinted in this episode. I don't know if I missed it, but maybe the bird form is not really, his or her real form. I think it is not her real form, because it was mentioned at the beginning that the bird cannot use, powers magic, because the body of the bird is actually really frail. So I think that is sort of hinting that maybe if Sasaki does something, that bird can retain her real form. So let's see if he's actually a really powerful person when it retains its real form. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, it really surprised me that this episode was actually 40-50 minutes long. I didn't know that the episode was going to last that long. I was actually surprised in the middle of the episode when the anime, or I should say the episode, wasn't ending. I was kind of wondering why it was taking so long for the credits to roll in, but then I realized that, oh no, it was actually 40-50 minutes long. So yeah, I think that is actually funny. That tells you again, like I said at the beginning, that I didn't actually know how the anime or the episode was going to pan out. I didn't know exactly the details. I haven't read the source material. I didn't even know the length of the episode. To be honest, I currently don't know how much or how long the anime will last, if it's 12, 13, 24. I don't know, I haven't looked at it yet, but I sort of like it that way, because that way I'm coming to watch the episodes completely blind, with zero information, nothing in my head previously known about this anime. When doing reviews will come up in the reviews, because again, I don't have any sort of information about the anime. So yeah, with that being said, you can expect my reviews to be pure. And like I said multiple times already, I really enjoyed this episode a lot. It caught me by surprise. It was actually a really good episode, a really solid episode. I would give it actually a 10 out of 10. I know people may think other things or otherwise, but each of us has their own opinion according to what they think the episode was. In my opinion, it was actually really good. I'm waiting desperately for the second episode, because I was actually pleasantly surprised by this first episode. So I don't know how you all feel about this first episode. Maybe it was actually really good in your opinion, or maybe not. But yeah, I think that was my opinion of the episode, and I'm definitely making a review of at least the second episode and probably all the anime as a whole. And another thing that I wanted to mention quickly is that, as you can see by the voice quality, by the audio quality, I bought a new mic, and hopefully it sounds a lot better, because the mic I bought is actually kind of expensive. So I think this mic is actually an upgrade from the other mics I've been recording since basically I started the channel. So yeah, I think this mic sounds a lot better, not even close to my other microphone. Although I don't have a professional recording studio, there's still echo. I'm just recording in my room, so there's not like some perfectly crafted studio to record. It's just that the mic that I'm recording with is now miles better than the other microphones that I was recording with, so that alone will make it sound tens of times better. But yeah, if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't want to miss the next episode review or reviews of the anime as a whole, please subscribe so you don't miss any episode reviews that comes out. And yeah, I think that will be everything for me, and I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.